Writing it in 2005, and the idea, I came up with the idea on my own and started writing it, and then probably a few months later, I just coincidentally ran into Stuart Blumberg, who was in LA from New York doing other work on something, and I ran into him in a coffee shop, and we just...
And it was like you sat down together and wrote it together? Or?
Yeah, we just randomly, we're like chatting in this coffee shop. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And somehow by the end of the conversation, I was telling him that I was writing this story and was he interested in writing it with me, because I thought it would be a good kind of film to write with somebody else, and I kind of wanted to write with somebody who had more of like a commercial background, like he was oriented that way. And I think he wanted to write with somebody that had more of like an indie background, that, had spent a lot of time in that world. So we decided to join forces.
What inspires his characters, or what inspires just your ability to write people so sincerely?
I think in this case it was just a combination of like, by circumstance, having been forced to spend so much time writing and rewriting and really listening carefully to people's notes and feedback, and just going like, I'm not going to stop till I feel like this is authentic. Like I can hear these people; they feel truthful to me. And and there were times when Stuart was frustrated with me and felt like it was done, and I was like, it's not done, and you got to get on another plane and come out here. And he did. He was like a trooper. He stuck with it, and then, so part of it is that, like, working it to the bone, and then the other part is just, like, the great luck of having chosen the right cast.
So how did that come together?
Julianne Moore was involved from the beginning. She and I have known each other just kind of peripherally for a long time, and have always, when we've run into each other, said, like, let's do something together. So she had seen a script in 2005 and was interested, and then, other cast people have been in and out of the project, but when we finally got it going, I was committed to casting Annette. I felt like Annette was hands down the person to do this. So I started pursuing her, and I kind of polished a draft for her, kind of to tailor it to how I heard her. And then Mark came in at the last minute, but he was friends with Julianne from doing Blindness with her, so Julianne and his wife were on the phone, and they were kind of conspiring and to, get Mark's schedule together so he could get out here and do it, get out to LA and do it.
And I mean, what did you want to say, or did you want to say anything with what this film was discussing in terms of the gay content?
I think I wanted to do kind of what you're describing, which is, I didn't want to pretend like it didn't exist. I wanted to really get into the architecture and the emotional life of these two women, and a lot of that, is informed by their gayness. But I didn't want... I'm not like I didn't have an agenda. I didn't want it to be like a political film, and I felt like if that became like the thing of the film, the other issues which I felt like more strongly about and more interested in were going to get sunk, and it was just going to become like some issue film. And to me, that's like intellectual and not emotional and not cathartic, and not why I like to go see movies. I like to be drawn in viscerally and emotionally.
And what are your hopes for the film in terms of what happens to it, and then what's next just for you as a filmmaker and writer?
In terms of the film, I hope today that we can make some decisions and have a deal with a really great distributor, and we have a number of offers, and that's really great and vindicating, and I just, I want it to perform well. I feel like people should be seeing this film. This is what's going on, with a part of the population, and it's good timing. It's my good timing. So
it's very good timing.
Fortune.
Yes.
I didn't plan it, but it's good fortune. And so I hope that it reaches wide, and has an impact. And so that's my desire for the film. And then personally, I'm just going to take a long nap and start thinking about what's next.
You seem to usually take time in between?
I do. I don't feel like I want to be doing that anymore.
Okay.
I didn't really mean to do that with this one, but there wasn't anything I particularly felt as passionate about along the way, so I just stuck with this. I think it's a good time for me to start getting films out more quickly. Whether I write them or not, I might try to find something that I haven't written, and then meanwhile, like, develop a few things that I've been thinking about.
Great.